Oliver, I'm back. I love her. I'm more back. See, because I'm returning from a big whole other area. You've just moved a few feet this way. But I did leave, not that it's a competition. So I ran to pick, but I do think you left less than I did. That's just the thing. Here, let's just say we're both back and neither return was all that important. Triumphant. I'm gonna interrupt that too. Just take the brochure. Fun-sized book. Neat. So if I like the demo, I can buy the whole book. This box, and to someone like me, a seasoned adventurer, it might as well be a rope or some matches. Priceless. It's hopes, which means I'm going to need a reason that gives me the courage to ask for it. Let's talk to Hope. Hi, Oliver. How's it going? Find anything for me yet? I kind of had this whole conversation rehearsed and planned out already. You mind if I just stick to the script? By all means. Great. Well, I guess this counts as checking in, so let's keep moving. It's already quite the thrill ride. So it's kind of crazy how important that train is becoming to the story. Story? So you do have something for me. More of a I'll have some info for you soon kind of guy. Why, don't be. Because the details of my work sound absolutely insane when said out loud. So I try to remain vague, if not cryptic, until I have the whole picture. Makes sense. Alright, the train, tell me about it. Yes, well, please don't tell anyone, but I was the ghostwriter on that pamphlet write-up. So assuming I read it, I already know what you know. I had to summarize, but yeah, for better or worse. I just wanted to get all the facts out of the way. Some people need that first before they'll surrender to imagination. Alright, so we need to read the brochure. Hope's on her tour presents Walking Around but Not Inside of. Seriously, you guys, it's the town's property, not mine. The locomotive from the Birdwell train disaster. It was a damp and uncharacteristically humid October evening when tragedy befell the Birdwell luxury liner NA1. Blah 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 was built to rival the Nagelmakers and Pullman luxury lines, and it was on its maiden voyage when it suffered a malfunction. That's a typo. When local authorities arrived, the engine, the car, and first passenger car were stalled inside of the 5-mile tunnel under Cherry Hills. 3 passengers in the first-class lounge, as well as the conductor, were found dead. To this day, details surrounding the incident remain murky due to a scarce amount of archived records from the time. That said, events are said to have transpired as such. The NA1, ascending a steep incline, is approaching Cherry Hills. As the locomotive enters the tunnel, the wheels begin to lose traction. All momentum is lost, and under its own weight, the engine, coal, and first passenger car are stalled within the tunnel. Next, the conductor plunges the lever to activate the sandbox, and the sandbox fails to deploy and provide traction. As smoke continues to billow out of the chimney, the tunnel is suffocating in carbon monoxide. The conductor's next move is unclear as he passes out before succeeding. 2 inhabitants of the first passenger car were reported to have already been sleeping when they died, while the third passenger was found with a minor contusion to the head, indicating they may have been attempting to escape when they collapsed from the fumes. Passengers in the remaining cars and the rest of the crew were unharmed. Birdwell Car Company closed its store 4 years later, with many citing this incident as one they never recovered from. Okay. So that's how they died. They suffocated. The sandbox that was supposed to pull them out of the tunnel didn't work. So what happened to the conductor? We haven't seen the conductor's ghost. Water runoff from the incredibly sketchy log flume right at Crazy Ernie's. Okay, well, that's good to know. Well, if it isn't pomp and circumstance. Oh, what fun, and now it's even darker. Can't wait to stub a toe and then fall back into something damp and judging me. It's, actually... Pendleton, we have secured a screwdriver. Tom shows where the parts you need removed are. Right this way. Alright, Coach. Send me in. Really feel like this required a wardrobe change? Yes. Into dumpster clothes? Specifically. Very well then. Are you ready now, or do you want makeup to smear some grease on your face? Wait, does Hope do makeup? Do you? Am I facing? Yes, now, if you are ready, I am. Just let me change back real quick. This is incredibly itchy. Sorry, mech-like mechanic. Mech suit achievement. Alright, gang, we did it. Got a whistle, a lever thing, and a bunch of cogs or washers or whatever metal circuits. Now, before this conversation shifts to a job well done, there is one last thing. Nobody wants to hear one last thing from anyone they are not in a mutual attraction with. Ouch. Come now, it's not a big deal. I just need you to throw them in a box and ship them for me. These parts are about to go in Oliver's junk drawer for life if you do not tell me what this is about. Apologies, I didn't mean to try to swindle you. It's not junk, though. The gentleman that told me which parts to remove only told me because I promised I would ship those parts to him after they were removed. And you believed him? It's just sticky. I vowed to do everything I could, and this is everything I can do. That's all that matters. Well, then I would say you are choosing to turn a cheek in the face of what seems like an obvious con. Fine, I'll expand. Yes, please do. While he seemed a bit young, his reasoning was backed by understandable circumstances. Besides, he was a man of science. Now, gentlemen, do excuse me as I have a bag to pack. Wait, what is the address to where the parts are going? Ah yes, sent to care of resident at 1017 Mossy Gulch Way. Mossy Gulch, why does that sound familiar? Don't be gross, Engelbert. Okay. We need to look at this. Okay. Now what? This guy, okay. Let's see. Say, have you ever seen this brooch before? Can't say that I have. Okay. Wait, really? What? There's a lot to go through here. Fine. So, do you think it could be Gertrude's? Brooches have been in unisex fashion again recently. This looks about down the middle. It does speak of wealth, and by the sharp hard edges, I would say it also commands power. Thank you for this information that I am now forced to downplay, and have noticed myself. What? Huh? Nothing, I was just explaining how information can sometimes fall casualty to petty internal conflict. Anyway, you said nothing new, told you so. And so, fancy a drink, do ya? Listen here, sauce sucker! Nope, no, wrong angle in person. Pendleton, level with me. How bad was Gertrude's drinking en route? Oh, I assure you, she was quite the Lushington. Do you think she would have been at all capable of derailing would be a poor choice of words. From would be to was, just like that. Do you think she could have done something to have caused this? Why are you so assumptuous that something sinister took place to begin with? I played along with your little game until now, but the reality is the engine blew while in gear and the sudden halt took us out for a bit. The end. I admire your courage. Now, it is lucky for you that I value dignity preservation, or it would already be quite embarrassing for you right now. Oh, snap. It is quite clear that the accounting of what happened here is incomplete at best, so I ask for the final time. What was a drunk Gertrude capable of? My apologies, Mr. Picklebender. She is maniacal and, while sober, orderly enough to carry out a plan of intent. However, if she crooked an elbow, and she had been, then she was floppy and imprecise. Enough to stumble into trouble rather than devise and execute some. Thank you. His Winifred. It is perhaps annoying that Finley lucked into wealth, considering how Gertrude you described him. Well, it doesn't particularly scream fair. A lifelong thief being rewarded with more than he had talent to steal. Perhaps insult to injury, as he still isn't satisfied, even though he was bug hunting on this train. Sorry? You know, he's a roller, a mutcher, he steals from drunks. Well, fortunately I know my parents and grew up under a roof, so I do not know what it is like for Finley. But it must have been hard being trained to steal as a child. You know, perhaps you're right. Perhaps I became a bit rapacious towards Finley. You know, I never had kids, but, well, I could have done better than his parents did. I believe you would have. Ooh. Thank you, Engelbert. Pendleton, do you care to shed any light on why everyone here seems to think you were running from something? No, I don't. Frankly, I thought better of you than to go area diving for gossip. So you have no idea how they have come up with it, aside from boredom? No, none. Alright, let's go inside and talk. Gertrude, I wanted to ask you, when the train was last moving, how drunk were you? You make a stuffed bird laugh, Mr. Pickle Twister. And such bold assertion, considering you're mindlessly repeating what others have whispered in your ear. It's hard to ignore such consistency. Yes, consistent from a measurement of few people. Might I suggest you spare yourself future embarrassment by doing some work instead of blindly shouting out assumptions? Gertrude, I was thinking about Finley's roots, and I wanted to ask you something. My interest wanes, Pickle Sticks. Who do you think Finley is underneath it all? What is his potential character? His potential? He is bread and butter, that's the ceiling. Not granting him the benefit of the doubt just because he had cupboard love growing up. Harsh. Do you think it is irrational to suggest that if Pendleton is in danger, that you are as well? Perhaps not. Pendleton gets his cold coffee on me and something happens, I will haunt him. Did you happen to notice any suspicious or brutish men along the way? Perhaps lingering behind or at a station? I'm afraid my recollection is a bit hazy. I cannot say. Oh, whoops. Didn't mean to click that. Gertrude, is this perhaps the brooch you were missing? Why, yes, it is. Wherever did you find it? Purposefully hidden. Did it go missing while the train was running, or after? Let's see, I purchased it when we crossed into state lines. It features a local gemstone, rhodochrosite. I hope it is safe to have already forgotten its name. May I ask, is it of particular value? From what I gather, it is of higher value for being mined here, where the rhodochrosite is of exceptional rarity and dispersion. Now I am suspecting that you want me to remember that word, and that makes me nervous. Darling, the only thing I want you to do is keep the brooch and see if it can distract from those suspenders. Oh, I meant after you scurry off. No way, did your eye just twitch? Must have been someone else's eye. So... Hey, look at this cool line I drew through Fancy Pen. Let's talk to this guy. Finley, how disruptive was Gertrude's drinking? Well, she already eats vinegar with a fork. The more she drinks, the more paranoid and bullish she gets. And how capable would you say she is while intoxicated? Once she's up the pole, she's less effective. Her usual intimidation tactics lose their edge. Yes, people do not like their demands slurred at them. Yeah, that's for true. Anyway, besides the occasional outburst, she really just sleeps a lot. Noted. Thank you, Finley. Finley, if I was someone's shiny possession, would you want to have me? Why would you frame it that way? Sorry. Would you take me? And he doubles down. Unadvisable. I don't know what you're getting at, but... Actually, yeah, I don't know what you mean. Look, there's quite a case for... Listen. There's quite a case for anyone wishing to pin a missing belonging on you, considering your background. And who cares if they do? Finding something they lost or saying who took it, that'll get this train moving again. Yes, however, there appears to be suspicious circumstances surrounding what happened here, so understanding the morality of each of you could prove beneficial. Well, I don't know nothing about anything. Finley, I'm trying to gauge how much trouble Pendleton is in. What do you think? Hard to tell, and trying to get anything out of him is like barking at a knot. One thing's for sure, if he stayed where he was, he'd be grinning at the daisy roots by now. Okay. Finley, I admire the trickster in you. I love how charming that word is for what it's hiding. But I am also kind of sick of it, too. Because of him. I see right through you. Either way, I ain't admired much, so thanks. Finley, can you recall performing any acts of mischief that may have had larger consequences than you perhaps thought? Oh no, so you don't get to smother up Harriet and remember things. Surely you didn't every night. That's true. I don't know. I spent half the trip chasing a girl with the most incredible follow-me lads you've ever seen. I know you're just trying to help Mister, so put it like this. I wish harm on no one, and I got some street smarts too, to which I do not undervalue, Finley. Oh, wait. To which I do not undervalue, Finley. Thank you for your candor. Huh. Okay, so let's just look at them then. Looks fiery like... She died with quite the stain on her clothing. Interesting. What was that noise? Unclear, something near the engine. Alright, let's go check out what's happening near the engine. I don't like this. Oliver? We need you to interact with the material world here, Oliver. The Chewhold now appears to be wearing a little hat. I feel like it was maybe open earlier, but also shadows and branches and stuff. It's all very confusing, plus I can't reach it. Alright. Engelbert. Well, I do remember seeing it open. I suppose it is worth checking after all. I do have a little time to kill. I said I would hate to waste my time. That's so not what you said. I know I tried to upgrade it last second. There's something in here. What is it? It's gold. Can we retire now? I'm all done. I'll drop it down to you. It's a pocket watch, so that's why the numbers are in a circle. Chain is a match for the watch. Ow! Dude, I'm bleeding. This acorn bit me. Oh yes, actually, Oliver, be careful with that. It may be an anti-theft fob. Oh no, what if I just caught like a dormant Victorian plague? It's all coming back to me. I recall a short-lived fad among the wealthy where these decorative fobs doubled as pickpocket deterrents. My. Aren't you retrospectively helpful? Also, the chain definitely came from this watch. Also, part 2, what if my blood is poisoned and as soon as I start to walk I die? Great and good point, maybe.